Okay, I know what you might be thinking when you see this title. Water is whiskey's best friend? No way. It probably sounds like total heresy. But what if I told you that for years, you've been locking away the very best parts of your whiskey? Today, we're going to explore why water isn't the enemy. It's actually the key. You hear this all the time, right? At almost every whiskey tasting, someone says it. And, on the surface, it makes perfect sense. Add water, you get less whiskey, so less flavor. But what if that simple logic is actually completely backward? What if, for a lot of whiskeys, especially the high-proof ones, that alcohol isn't actually a carrier of flavor, but a cage holding all the good stuff hostage? And what if a single drop of water is the key to that cage? To really get to the bottom of this, we need to forget the common wisdom for a second and look at what the pros do. I'm talking about the people whose entire careers depend on getting whiskey right, the master blenders. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the huge gap between how we're often told to drink whiskey and how the experts actually do it. While a lot of us are trying to power through that high-proof burn, the pros are diluting their samples way, way down to around 20% alcohol. They're not scared of dilution. They're using it as a precision tool. So why on earth are they doing that? Well, here's the secret. Their most valuable instrument isn't their tongue. It's their nose. I mean, we have up to 100 million olfactory receptors. Our sense of smell is just worlds more sensitive than our sense of taste. But that incredible sensitivity has a weakness. You know that heat you feel from a really strong spirit? That's not flavor. It's actually a pain signal. The high concentration of ethanol literally numbs your delicate smell receptors, basically blinding your nose to all the subtle, complex aromas in the whiskey. You just can't appreciate the art when your senses are under attack like that. So the pros add water, not just to avoid that pain, but to kick off something incredible, something we're going to call a molecular jailbreak. It's all about setting those hidden flavors free. So picture this. In a high-proof whiskey, the ethanol molecules are all huddled together. They form these tight little clusters that act like a prison wall, physically trapping all those wonderful, flavorful compounds inside. The best parts of the whiskey are literally being held hostage. So who are the prisoners in this molecular jail? Well, they're mainly these molecules called hydrophobic esters. These little guys are what give whiskey all those amazing notes of fruit and flowers and spice. And the key part is in their name, hydrophobic. It literally means they hate water. And that is the secret to the jailbreak. The moment you add a few drops of water, you crash the party. The water molecules rush in and break apart those tight ethanol prison walls. All of a sudden, those water-hating aroma molecules find themselves in a place they can't stand, and they want out fast. They race to the surface and literally leap out of the liquid, flying straight into your nose. And that is that beautiful bloom of aroma you suddenly get. And the coolest part? You can actually see this jailbreak happen. Ever notice those weird, oily-looking coiling threads that swirl around when you add water? That's it. That's the molecules rearranging right before your eyes. At the exact same time, mixing water and alcohol creates a tiny bit of heat, and that little burst of warmth gives those escaping aromas an extra push to get out of the glass even faster. Okay, so now that you get the why, let's talk about the how. Because you can absolutely become your own master blender. No lab coat needed, I promise. All you need is your glass, your whiskey, and a few drops of water. So here's your playbook. First, always start by nosing and sipping the whiskey neat. That's your benchmark, your control group. Then, add just 1 or 2 drops of room temperature water. Give it a swirl and wait, maybe 30 seconds. Let the magic happen. Now, go back and smell it again. Do you notice a difference? Has that tight woody note suddenly blossomed into fruit and flowers? For the really high-proof stuff, the cask strength whiskeys, you can keep repeating this drop by drop until you hit that perfect moment where the alcohol burn is gone and the flavor is just singing. And that's what you're looking for, that magical sweet spot. It's different for every single whiskey, and honestly, it's different for every person. This is your own personal journey of discovery, and you are totally in control. So all of this really leads to one simple conclusion. It's time to rethink our relationship with water. It's not something that ruins your whiskey, it's the catalyst. It's the tool that unlocks your dram. You know, for too long, there's been this weird macho thing around drinking high-proof spirits, like it's a badge of honor to endure the burn. But come on, whiskey tasting is supposed to be about pleasure, about discovery, about enjoyment. It's not a test of how tough you are. By understanding this simple bit of science, you've basically been handed the master key. You can now unlock flavors and aromas in your glass that other people, the ones who insist on only drinking it neat, will just never get to experience. You're not just a drinker anymore, you're an explorer. So the next time you pour a dram, don't just drink it, play with it. Experiment a little. Add a drop of water, then another. See what secrets that whiskey is just waiting to tell you. The real question isn't whether to add water, it's what new worlds will a single drop open up for you.